and I got fire ants all over my legs. You see them all. I guess I stepped in an ant bed because they're biting me. They're biting me. Hey everyone, you're watching Sidestep Adventures. It's Robert. I'm out here with Cody and Billy, and today we are at another old cemetery that you can see behind me here that we're about to take a look at. But we're actually at the site where there used to be an old community known as Church Hill, although it may have been called Centerville to begin with. And before we actually get started looking at the cemetery, I'm going to run over here to this historic marker that we'll read. But this is a pretty cool place right here. These are some of the earliest settlers of the county. It started when the land lottery happened in 1827. This land started being heavily populated, and there was a large community built here known as Church Hill due to the many churches that were out here. Before we look at the cemetery, I'm going to walk over here and check out this historic marker that'll give us some more details about where we're at, so I don't have to try to repeat it all from memory, because I just learned it a few minutes ago. And it's really cool. And it's this settlement was on the old salt trail, which is really cool. Cool name, I thought. The old salt trail that went from Columbus, Georgia to St. Mary's, Georgia. And it was also known as St. Mary's Road, as this sign will tell us about. And it's funny because there's a St. Mary's Road in Columbus that I think just kind of dead ends into Fort Benning. I've never really thought much about where the name came from, but this must be it. So let's read this historic sign real quick. All right, so it says Church Hill. This name was given to the large settlement here because of its many churches. Shiloh Baptist, still active, was constituted in 1835. Smyrna Presbyterian, constituted July 28, 1838, was active until 1925. Church Hill Methodist was here from 1838 until 1898. The Christian Union Church operated from 1840 to 1870. The famous old St. Mary's Road from Columbus to St. Mary's on the coast passed on the west side of Smyrna Church and in front of the others. The old Mount Pisgah Free Will Baptist Church was nearby. This section, known as Cutoff District, originally part of Stewart County, was added to Marion County in 1847. So this cemetery is the Smyrna Presbyterian Cemetery. And I wonder where the church building sat. That always fascinates me. It's probably over there somewhere where my Jeep is parked. So these are some very early graves right here. This is Sherman, John Sherman, born 1780, died 1837, and Nancy Coleman, died 1843, parents of Robert Harrison Sherman, buried at Wesley Chapel. In 1837, he died not long after this area was settled. I don't know if we're going to have time to go through every grave out here because there's another church that I want to go to and show you guys that'll be on a different video, but I'll try to film as many of these as I can. So here's a little bit of a later grave. This is Corbett Horn, born October 13th, 1893, died August 27th, 1916. It says, God gave, he took, he will restore, he doeth all things well. And over here, another Horn, Reese Horn, April 2nd, 1895 to September 30th, 1918. It says, weep not, Father and Mother, for me, for I am waiting for thee. And this one's a broken monument for another J.H. Horn, November 25th, 1863 to April 5th. See if we can't clean that off there and see what that says. 1923. It says an honest man's, let's clean that off a little bit more. An honest man's the noblest work of God. An honest man's the noblest work of God. This one says Mother on the top. The name is Rhoda Braswell, born June 9th, 1835, died February 25th, 1914, asleep in Jesus. That's probably a gopher tortoise hole right there is what that looks like to me. They're all over the place out here. This is Floyd Franklin, son of Albert W. and Maggie Lanier, born 1899, died 1902. It's Foy Eleanor, daughter of Albert W. and Maggie E. Lanier, born February 4th, 1901, died February 20th, 1902. There are two right there. They're pretty covered over pretty well. It's a Confederate veteran here, Robert Cordon, Company D, 19th Georgia Cavalry, CSA. That looks like another Confederate marker there. This one's got some writing on the back, so we'll take a look at it real quick. It says, none knew her but to love her, none named her but to praise. Let's look at the front of it. It's got a, I guess it'd be the Bible, etched in stone there. Look at that. Heaven's Gates on there. Zippy, wife of T.J. Lawhorn, born November 16th, 1871, died April 29th, 1901. Cody's looking at those over there. Those look like military headstones. But we're going to try to get back here, and I'm trying not to rush through this too much, but I'm not going to be able to read them all out here. Look at this one that's pretty covered over. This is N.S. Gill, born January 26th, 1854, and died July 13th, 1909. And over here, covered up in the vines, first name is Gass, G-A-S, Gill, September 16th, 1857, died July 13th, 1923, it looks like. This is the Tullis right here, Tullis family. Look at this one. This is Penelope, wife of Gibson Tullis, born October 10th, 1818, died July 26th, 1885. This is such a beautiful old cemetery, and it just amazes me how much history is out here. And as I said at another place earlier today, another video that you guys may have already seen, depends on when I put these up, that every one of these people out here have a story to tell, their own life history, and it's just amazing. And all of these people were residents of a place that no longer exists, and how much the world has changed since they were alive. And this is Clifford. Yeah, Clifford, daughter of A and J Little, 1873 to 1902. This Amanda, wife of J Little, 1852 to 1903. And this is Jonathan Little, 1852 to 1896. Look at that creepy crawly on the stone. This is another Confederate veteran here. The stone's seen better days. It's William W. Montfort, Company H, 46th Georgia Infantry, Confederate States of America. And I kind of wanted to look back here at this field real quick and take y'all with me. When I was growing up, there was a pasture behind my grandma's house and many around on neighboring property. So I always like these old pastures and think they're so cool and so pretty out here today. I hope it's as pretty on camera as it is to my eyes. And I wonder what was out there back when this town was alive. It's hard to comprehend sometimes how much stuff has changed, how different the land is, the towns are, and everything. When you've got a town, a community, a large one that was here, and now there's nothing here except I think one old church still stands, and that's the one we're going to look at on another video. And it's just pretty amazing how time changes and how things change. So we've got these rock enclosures here. This is just a beautiful place, so peaceful and quiet. See if we can make out what's on this grave. It's probably on the other side. This is J.J. Smith, born 1848, died October 13th, 1908. So even though I haven't been stopping and reading all of the graves out here, I have been kind of looking at the dates and scanning them over as I go by, and I haven't seen any as early as the first two we saw, 1830s and 1840s, I believe, over there. But this is just a beautiful, peaceful place. I can't say that enough. It's really nice out here. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing this beautiful, peaceful cemetery with us today and learning a little bit about the history of this area. About to close out this video and then drive down the street and check out another church and cemetery that'll be on a separate video, so make sure you look out for that one. That one's going to be super neat as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.